1,000 rounds through the Hudson H9. Let's check it out. The Hudson H9 hit the market and people were really excited about it. I mean, it's a very new design. It has the 1911 style frame, but yet it's striker fired. The low bore axis makes this a super flat shooting gun. Plus the interior and the way the recoil spring and recoil guide rod is set up, it just allows for very light recoil. It comes back on your hand rather than the muzzle flip. So it's very flat shooting. I did a full review, in-depth review on this pistol. In fact, it's on GetZone.com. It is an exclusive for GetZone. I have a link down below in the description. You can go right to it. Now, I went into Palmetto State Armory looking for something really interesting to do a review on, and just happened to see the Hudson H9, and immediately I decided I wanted it. Once I got it home, I started doing a lot of research on it. There were some issues, different type issues with the H9. Some of them had reliability issues. There were other things that went wrong, but I also saw a lot of reviews where guys were just loving it. Took it out to the range and we had a great review, no problems at all when we first had it. But some of these reviews got up to 700-800 rounds before any problems started. So what we decided to do was put 1,000 rounds through this pistol and see what kind of malfunctions, what kind of issues we might have. We ended up putting 1,200 rounds through it. I went out to the range with Robbie from Wheaton Arms, and we did quite a bit of testing. In fact, we shot 1,000 rounds, and then my daughter and I, Sarah Mack, went back out to the range later and shot a couple of hundred more rounds. So we're going to take a look and see what kind of issues we have, and is the Hudson 9 worth it? Let's find out. Now guys, I'll tell you, if you ever get your hands on one of these, you're just going to love it. It's just got a really beautiful finish to it. That nitride finish is just excellent. I mean, the precision, the way it feels in your hand. There's a lot of cool things about it. It's funny, the guys that have had a lot of issues with it, especially those early ones, they want to love it. I mean, they keep saying, we want Hudson to fix it because, you know, we really love the pistol. We want it to work. And it's one of the things, in fact, I said in the first video after I shot it for the first magazine, because I had seen some issues. And I said, I am really hoping that this gun is as reliable as it is fun to shoot. I mean, it is just so fun to shoot. And so really the 1,000 round torture test was just a no-brainer for us. We just really wanted to get this out there to you guys and to see, because it's important to me. I cannot stand to have a firearm that is not reliable. And, you know, a lot of guys will complain because I do a lot of positive reviews. But guys, if I have a gun that I'm having problems with, and I've had them, I just send them back. I just send them. I don't want to spend the time to do a bunch of negative reviews on something that I just don't like. Because once I start having problems, I don't like it. And that's one of the things about this gun is we have had a couple of little things, and we're going to look at those. And I want to talk about it because, you know, if you're having those same problems, you know, you're going to want to look for it as well. We're using Fiocchi 9mm. This is the 115 grain. And I want to thank Fiocchi for sponsoring the ammo. As I mentioned, these Hudson magazines are a little stiff, and this Lula loader, the Mag Lula, is definitely a godsend. What do you think, Roberto?
I'm damn impressed with it.
Overall, the gun just shot beautifully. In fact, we got up to about 800 rounds and the slide started to not quite engage all the way. And so you would pull the trigger and it would be dead.
Try that again. That's the second time I've done that. I had one do that. Well, I had one where I could slingshot it and it stopped about 1/8 of an inch back too. Okay. May just be because it's so hot and dry.
One thing that happened about 3 or 4 times was once you entered a magazine and you dropped that slide, it was like it didn't quite go into full battery, and I would try to pull the trigger and it would just fall on a dead chamber. One thing that Robbie mentioned is we haven't lubed it since we've had it out here, and again we're getting close to about 800 rounds, and so we're going to put a little bit of lube on it and then we'll see if that happens again. But right now it's pretty dry and it is about 90 degrees out here, and this gun has been sitting out in the sun, so that could definitely be part of it. Robbie, what are you seeing here? It looks like just normal wear, doesn't it? Right
yeah, everything looks pretty normal with it. You know, like I said, the gun's very dry right now. There's no lubricant on it at all, and which is what we took it out of the box and started shooting it without lubricating it at all. So we've seen a couple of issues with the slide not going fully into battery. So we're going to put a little lube on it. We just wanted to show you guys what the inside of the pistol looked like after 800 or so rounds without any lubricant, and now we'll drop a little lube in it and then we'll go back to shooting.
But once we had a little break free and we put it on it, we didn't have any more malfunctions. Now Robbie noticed something when shooting the gun that I think for larger hands may apply more, because I'm not having this problem.
We're starting to get up in the round count with the pistol. We're up to about 850 rounds so far, and one of the things that I've noticed is there's a gap here in between the passive beaver tail and the frame, and this gap as I'm shooting the gun is digging into my thumb. You can see here, even from just holding it, it's biting into my thumb from shooting the gun so much and repeatedly. If you go out for a long practice session where you might shoot 300 or 400 rounds, it's definitely noticeable that that the beaver tail right here is digging into your thumb.
Well, let me show them when I grip it. Of course, my hands obviously are smaller, so I'm just not getting that. It's not quite getting to that little gap there that we've been talking about. So Robbie does have a really high grip, but for me, you know, I'm riding that. It's not been a problem for me at all. In fact, there's no discomfort. So I think mainly if you have larger, meaty hands, that may be something, which I think that could probably be just kind of trimmed, smoothed out a little bit.
It could.
And it'll take care of that. And one thing we noticed with the magazines is there's a little bit of wear right here. And Robbie, what do you think about this? Going up on a lot of them, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's on all of them on this side. This is where the magazine release is riding on the magazine. Here on the opposite side, there's, on your witness hole to see how many rounds you have in your magazine, there's some pretty serious finish wear that we're already starting to see on these magazines at 850 rounds. This could be a a deburring issue where they just haven't deburred the side of the magazine well enough, or it could be the coating on the magazines as well. You know, they put a really high quality coating on the pistol itself, but the coating on the magazines is not nearly the quality of the coating on the pistols.
Yeah, it's just more of a black oxide, isn't it?
It is, yep, more like black oxide.
And that's more of a nitride finish.
Correct. Woohoo! 1,000 rounds.
I think I'll burn it up.
We
1,000
made it.
rounds, baby. Woo! And 1,000 degrees.
Oh, at least.
What do you think?
I like it. I shot him
Poor
in the
dummy.
face. I shot him in the face.
Oh, you sure did. She's definitely on Team Suits. Rubber Dummies is one of the best training tools on the market, and you get a 10% discount using Suit00 when you click the link down in the description. Sewing machine. Now I had a couple of 100 rounds of Freedom munitions that I was just going to supplement in with the Fiocchi. And I'll tell you one thing that I found is a primer that was inserted backward. And what really struck me is that out of about 40,000 rounds that I've fired of Freedom munitions, that's the first time I've seen that. That's freaking impressive. Guys, I'll tell you, Freedom Munitions has been really good. You know, right now they're reorganizing their company and they've kind of stopped their sponsorship. I think they still offer the 5% Suits discount, but I really do appreciate what they've done. And I really appreciate Fiocchi coming in as well. But it's been good stuff. I've always been puzzled when people talk about the quality of Freedom Munitions because I have had nothing but good success with Freedom Munitions. So now I wanted to check out the mag release because we're seeing this, of course, on the magazines, and it's happening to all three. And in fact, some of the videos I've seen, they have those same markings. So there was something about the mag release that was making that happen. Now, we're going to take this magazine release out, but one of the things I'm going to warn you about, you can see here I have an extra mag release. And the reason why is I wasn't reading the manual, and so when I went to turn the screw, I just turned it too tight. I put too much torque on it and it actually broke the head. So depress your magazine, release, and then turn it a quarter turn, and this will disengage. There we go. And then you can pull the mag release out. And it's a little tricky to get out, just the way it fits out. It's really this little notch that does it. You turn this and it actually captures it against the side of the frame. Now, one of the things about this is if you pull this out, it's under spring tension and it will fly. So you need to be very careful doing that. In fact, one of the reasons why I'm missing this piece is because I turned it and it flew out and shot across the room. But thank goodness Hudson does offer these. I think they were like $25, and it includes the pin and the spring. But this is the original. So I really wanted to look to see if there was any kind of wear marks, but I really couldn't find any. So I'm not really sure you know, why this is. There's a little bit, I guess, right here on the edge, but this is a nitride finish and it's really hard, and so you're not going to see much. But now that we have the new mag release, we're going to see how it does if it affects the magazines in the same way. And then to reinstall your mag release, you slip it in, and then you just want to get it over this little notch right here. So we get it in there, and then it pops down and comes all the way through. It's really not difficult. And then pull it back up, and then turn it again clockwise until it sets, just like this. And now you're ready to go. Since we already had this issue on these original mags, I got in touch with Gun Mag Warehouse, and they sent me some extra magazines for testing this out. And so we're going to see what kind of wear we get. I'm not going to have the results on this video, but I just wanted to kind of demonstrate that. And upcoming, we're going to find out if this is getting any more wear. One of the great things, though, about Hudson and their magazines is they decided they wanted the magazines to be very affordable. And a lot of times when you buy something like this, you know, the magazines are $60, but these are $32.99 on the Gun Mag Warehouse website. So they're fairly reasonable for good steel magazines. Of course, at the range, we were looking at the other side. Right here at this hole, there's a little bit of wear on each of the magazines. Still not sure where that's coming from, but hopefully we'll find out that as well in the upcoming video. But guys, really, it hasn't caused any kind of problems. It's just something that I want to watch and see where this wear is coming from. Now, also, when I was posting pics on Instagram, the guys at Advanced Holsters got in touch with me, and that's at advancedholsters.com, and they sent one of the AMS H9 holsters. Has the tech lock. You can get different configurations on how you want to set this up, but it's a really good quality holster. I mean, these are rubberized points right here, so it's going to have a nice wear on the gun. And the fit locks right in. And these are adjustable. There's some retention screws right here. But this is a beautiful holster, and I really appreciate the guys at Advanced Holsters for sending this. Now, we're going to be doing some testing again in the upcoming video using this holster. But I was a little late getting it, and so we're just now getting started with it. Now, I know True Exodus had some issues with the recoil spring actually coming loose and coming forward. We have really watched that, and we have had no problems so far with this pistol. And I don't know, that may have been an earlier production. I've also seen one guy had a problem with the magazine release. It was sticking a little bit. He replaced it. Now, as far as us, we have had no malfunctions with this pistol other than it just not quite getting into battery, which was a quick tap on the back of the slide. Now, I don't like that. I want it to be fixed, and we're going to figure it out. But one of the big things that I want to do with this handgun is just to continue to shoot it. In fact, I just really love and enjoy bringing it out to the range. So we're going to do another 1,000 rounds and see where it is then. I'll tell you what, guys, if you really want something that is super flat shooting with that low bore axis, and it just nestles in the hand, and I'll tell you what, guys, I've not shot anything like this. I mean, it is just totally different. Now, I don't have any kind of connection with Hudson, and again, I bought this with my own money. And but I'll tell you guys, I just love this handgun. And I would highly advise that if you ever get a chance to go out and shoot one, do it. Yeah, they're pretty expensive. I actually paid $1,100 at Palmetto State, but I know that I saw it on GunPro deals. I think he has them for like $890 or something like that right now. That's pretty high for a pistol, but for a 1911 style and what you're getting, I think it's right in the ballpark. You know, it's not one of your polymer frames that are super inexpensive to produce. This is a good quality, beautiful handgun. And again, if you want to see the full review of the Hudson H9, getZone.com. It's an exclusive video that is not going to be on YouTube. You can go down to the description and check it out. And I want to thank Robbie from Wheaton Arms for joining me out at range day, and also my daughter Sarah Mack. And we had a great time shooting this handgun. But I'll tell you one of the big dangers of this pistol. It's not the initial price. It's all the ammo you're going to want to shoot through this handgun. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Well over 12. I mean, people went crazy. We had no issues. What's okay? I don't want to talk about that yet. I'm gonna say that. The camera goes. Yeah. You'll love it, or you know, if you don't really, then I don't know what to do. I'm gonna tell you. Really, dude? I guess this is a shooting range. Doesn't he understand? Ring around the rose.